I thought it was a fantastic day. We were able to, from what I've been told, we were able to raise a decent amount of money for, the people of Stillwater that are in need, and we were able to also bring in a lot of goods that will help them get back on their feet. And so, first and foremost, that's the most important thing. And then secondly, obviously, to be able to win a postseason basketball game in our first year in the NIT is exciting. And I'm proud of these guys because, sometimes you get into these situations and guys aren't ready to play, and I thought our guys were ready to play all night long.
Bryce, sort of what went into that start? I think you scored the first 10 points that you guys put up. Just kind of, what were you feeling early?
I was just feeling good, man. Just taking what the defense was giving me. They were in a ton of drop coverage, so the big was just kind of sitting in the paint, and I was able just to get to my spot and raise up. And my teammates did a great job of screening for me and finding me in transition, and I was just able to play off of that.
It's almost a meme at this point how much we ask you about the end of your career, but just kind of what has the last week been like where it might be over, and we're playing again? Just kind of what's that been like?
I've just been trying to soak it in, man. Just thinking about all the good times, I had here. Just extremely grateful for the opportunity, and I'm really excited that this team gets to keep playing and see how far we can go.
Brandon, you have a double-double tonight on a night you maybe don't shoot your best, but just to make the plays that you did, kind of what went into that?
I didn't want our season to be over, so I just went out there and played hard. When we knew coming into this game that they're a good rebounding team, so I took the challenge on.
Brandon, what was it like for you to find out y'all were going to get to play this game? When the Big 12 ended, y'all didn't know if y'all were going to get a postseason opportunity.
I'm a senior, so this is my last go around. So, any chance you get to play in the postseason or to extend your season, I'm all for it.
Bryce, sort of the same question for you, but especially being home, what did it mean? You didn't maybe expect to get another game in this arena. What did that feel like?
I felt great, man. Especially with the turnout we had. We had a ton of fans there. Here to support us. Had a late 8 o'clock game. So we're really grateful for that. And they gave us an extra boost, and we really appreciate it. Especially with everything that's been going on in Stillwater the last couple of days, for them to come out and still come out and show love. It was really appreciated.
Nobody's going to ask Bryce about his 5 steals?
Oh, whoa.
Exactly what I just told Brandon Newman. Where'd that come from?
Okay, that's what I like to see right there. Okay.
Shoot, that should be the storyline for this day, guys. Bryce Thompson, highest steals he's ever had.
That may be a career high for him.
Damn right it is.
There we go.
I don't even know, but I'm just telling you.
Hey, Brett.
I felt great, man. I felt, I was just in the right spot a couple times, and just playing good defense. That's it. Trying to.
For both of you guys, being seniors, how, I guess, gratifying could it be to go on a run here with this being your last go-around of college basketball?
It would be amazing, not just for us as seniors, but, for the whole team, for the coaching staff, just to keep playing and, get some hardware. That's the plan, and we're going to learn from this game and, get ready for the next and try to approach it the best way we can.
Anything to add, Brandon?
Yeah, I thought tonight was a good start. The energy and the effort and the level of concentration that we had, down the line, it was definitely good to see to be able to, start this thing out right and, get a win. But, it's going to take more than just tonight. I'm sure we'll probably be off tomorrow and get right back to it, the day after that. So,
Bryce, you guys got up 15 late in the first half. Then they whittled it down to 5, then they scored the first 7 in the second half. You guys went behind.
Yep.
What was your feelings on that?
We just had to stay composed. We had been there before, in this past season, and we know that it's a game of runs, and they're a good team. What I'm saying? We respect them and everything, so they just went on a run, and we just had to buckle down, get some stops, rebound, push the ball, and just play our game.
Bryce, Jamiron shot the ball really well for y'all tonight. Have you seen him sort of just mature in his game throughout the season? And as one of the few younger guys, the guys that has eligibility left, what could you see him becoming in the future?
Yeah, for sure, man. He's a great player. He puts in a lot of work, and I'm glad he was able to see something go in. I think that's really good for his confidence, and I think going forward you'll see him continue to shoot the ball with that confidence, and we need him. He's a really good defender, good athlete, and just overall good player. So I think he has a bright future here. And if he keeps working, he can keep going and play.
Anything else for players? All right, thanks, guys. We'll catch you.
Thanks, guys.
And we'll continue with questions for Coach Lutz.
I think just to kind of get this out of the way, I think radio said Chi opted out. I guess just like what does that do? It seemed like he has played a lot of small ball today without him. Just
obviously your worry as the coach is when you lose someone like Chi, who is a pretty good rebounder, that you're going to get beat on the backboards. And tonight I thought we did it as a committee. I thought Brandon Newman was fantastic, and I thought all those guys did a good job in just banding together and rebounding the ball. So. We still run a lot of the same actions. You're just putting in different people in different positions.
And then similarly, obviously lose 3-point shooting for the night Jamiron had. Khalil hit a couple. Just how big were those shots for you guys?
Yeah, no, I thought Jamiron had some good looks and shot it with confidence, and I thought the same of Khalil. When you play a team like Wichita State that switches a bunch, at times, they're going to lose their man, and if you'll move the ball, and you'll continue to move your bodies around the court during half court set, you're going to usually get good shots. And I thought those guys were fairly patient in that. And I also thought that they did a good job of reading the defense after coming off some of the ball screens. And when they play drop coverage like that, somebody's got to hold at the rim, right? The big guy's going to stop the basketball, and somebody's got to hold at the rim. So you've always kind of got that skip where you've got it to the top and then the one more. And I thought our guys did a good job playing 2-on-1 in the backside.
Jamiron, he's had games like this before, but not a guy y'all relied on every night to be one of the top scorers. Is he a guy that could grow into that role?
Absolutely. I mean, I've said it, several times that I really like Jamiron, and he shoots a pretty good percentage from three in practice. He hasn't shot a great percentage this year from the three, but it's certainly because he's not capable. I think just like any younger player, you've got to continue to find your way and find your opportunities and then take advantage of those opportunities. Sometimes we get anxious and maybe we want to force a couple and it just kind of steamrolls on you.
Bryce had a really good offensive night in the first half, and everyone else kind of picked him up in the second. Defensively, what did you think about his 5 steals?
I would have never guessed he had 5 steals, I'm going to be honest with you. But I thought he did a good job. I thought that Harlan Beverly attacked him a couple times, and I subbed him out. And I told him, if you want to play, you better guard somebody. And I thought when he came back in, he was much, much better. But I thought that he did a good job helping when people were driving in the second half, and that's where he got a couple of those steals.
Was it game plan to get him going early offensively, or did it just sort of break that way?
Yeah, I mean, I ran the first play for him. And a lot of times, let's just be honest, I run it to Bryce. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that we had a focal point of, hey, we're going to get Bryce going and have him get 10 of our first 12 or whatever that number was. But I thought that Bryce had a senior mindset that wants to play and continue to play, and he wanted to do his part to get our team to the next game. And I thought that was his mentality and all those guys' mentality to start the game. So. We're glad that he was able to get it rolling early.
I can't remember the word you used, whether it was mentality or focus, but you talked about sometimes games like this can be determined by some of that. Having so many guys that are, this is the last time they'll play college ball, do you think that helps y'all in a postseason like this?
I sure hope so. Again, I've told you guys kind of all along, these guys said they wanted to play postseason basketball. Obviously, they wanted to play in the NCAA, but that didn't happen. But now you're in, a really prestigious tournament with the NIT, and you have an opportunity to play for a championship. And these guys have been pretty good all year for the most part, and they deserve that, right? And right now they're doing a good job sticking together and taking it one game at a time. And we live to play one more game, and that's what you want in March. Again, I say it all the time to you guys. You want to play meaningful basketball in March, and if for some reason we can win this NIT, that'd be pretty darn cool.
Andrea gave you some decent minutes down the stretch. Obviously nowhere near a finished product, but how have you kind of seen him develop in his first year?
Yeah, I think he's getting better. It's just really hard. You've got some older players ahead of you. We talk about it a lot as a staff. He didn't get here until late in the summer. Comes in out of shape, and you're already behind the 8 ball a little bit when you don't get into conditioning and workouts on day one. So it's been a tough road for him. But I think that he, especially in the last maybe 2 weeks, has really started to work harder and figure it out a little bit more. So I was happy to get him some time, and I was happy that he was able to produce. I felt terrible for him that he missed that layup, but he made his free throws, and then he did a really good job. We set a ball screen, and he rolled, and he sealed, right? We threw it back to the top, threw it over here, and then that guy drove it, and he sealed his man, and Khalil, I believe, was the one who got the layup. And that's what he needs to continue to do to be effective.
What is Robert sort of battling through? It seems like a guy like that could shut it down anytime, but
Yeah, guys,
keeps
I
going.
don't know. I mean, it's something with his hip and his labral something. Like I don't know all the specific terms, but to Robert's credit, man, I mean he's going to need to have some sort of, whether it's surgery or whether it's an injection of some sort maybe after the season. But he's toughing it out and fighting through it. He had some good rebounds late. I thought he gave us a boost when I put him in later in the game. So he's doing what good players and good people do. They compete and they fight through fatigue and they fight through injuries. That's what you got to do at this time of year.
Postseason basketball's kind of crazy, but most likely going to be ended up going down to Dallas to face SMU. How do you prep a team in postseason? A team that's struggled on the road.
Shoot, I don't know that I have an answer for that. If I had that answer, we wouldn't have been so bad on the road in the first place. But there were several games on the road, especially later in conference play, where, if we don't have a 1 or 2 minute stretch where we play poorly and turn it over and take some bad shots and then don't get back in transition D, where we could have won some Big 12 road games, and then obviously the TCU game will always haunt us. But I think these guys are in a great place mentally, and you're not gonna. It's spring break, so you're not gonna go into SMU probably, and it's gonna be 10,000 people. So it's not going to be an overwhelming environment, and if we'll play together and stick together, we should be fine no matter where we play.
What have you liked most about this group so far this year?
Especially
with this late run, like it brought an energy out tonight, like for a team that's under 500. You could tell they actually really wanted to be out there.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question, and I probably haven't given that enough thought. But I would tell you that I appreciate them and their character and their resolve, right? I mean, there's a lot of teams across the country that would have just packed it in, right? And just not competed throughout the season. We started off 2-7 in the Big 12, right? There's a lot of teams that just never would have gotten their head back above water. So, I was proud of those guys for continuing to stick with it and fight. And, like I told y'all before, I mean, our month of February was really good. Now, hopefully we can get our month of March to be like that. So,
Everybody good?